Hi everyone, welcome to My English. This is Hira and today we will be discussing Academic Writing Task 1 map-based questions. So in this session we will be covering how to analyze map-based question, what is the vocabulary that you should be using for map-based question, what is the structure that you should be following when it is a map given to you, and we'll also solve one exercise together. Let's get started with today's lesson. First is how do you analyze the maps? So there are different kinds of map-based questions. The first is you will be provided with a present day map. This is rarely asked as it requires only simple present tense to explain and usually no comparisons are possible. The next one is past and the present. So there will be two maps and it is the most common one. You'll have to use past and present tenses since the changes are man-made processes. Passive voice can be used. So this was done by and all that, right? So you are able to use some good lexical resource and good grammatical range because you're using passive voice. Then we have present and future. This one is usually about the development of a town or a city. And present tense and future tense are usually used for the explanation of this sort of map-based question, and almost the same vocabulary can be used for all the different type of map-based question. Then we have the map that will tell you about the stages of development. So in this case, you will have to rely mostly on past tense as you describe the milestones or the stages of development. Maps usually mostly deal with changes that happened in a place over the given period of time. This is map-based vocabulary. So you should know the prepositions of place and direction. Directional words like towards, leading to, and place is all into, before, after, between, and so on. Then changes in the map. Changes in the map means was there any expansion done? And for expansion you can use words like enlarged, extended. So enlargement, extension. So use the noun and the verb form accordingly. These are just the verb forms that I've written over here. Expanded, developed, made bigger. For removal, you can use demolished, knocked down, pulled down, torn down. And in case of trees, you can say cut down. If tree is added, then you can say plantation of trees, or trees were planted, or forests were planted. If there is another addition like a building or some kind of facility that was opened, so you can say built, constructed, erected, introduced, added, opened, etc. If something is changed from something to something, then you can say converted, redeveloped, replaced, renovated, modernized, etc. Now let's take a look at map-based question. The question is, below is the map of the city of Bradfield. City planners have decided to build a new shopping mall for the area. So this is the area and these are the two shopping sites which have been proposed by the planners, S1 and S2. So S1 and S2 have been proposed. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons wherever relevant. It is simple when you have two maps given to you, right? So you can say that this was there, this wasn't there, or this was changed. But when it comes to a single map, then it becomes slightly difficult to summarize and give the information properly. So how you're going to go about it is, the first sentence is going to be the paraphrased version of the question. So how you're going to paraphrase is, you have to come up with new words. So use the key that I told you before. The given map illustrates or compares plans for two possible sites. Okay, some words cannot be changed, but you can add an adjective. So two possible sites or two probable sites for a shopping mall in the city of Bradfield. Now you need to write the overview. Now how you write the overview is, you can take a look at where are these sites located. So as you see, this S1 site is located in the north of the map, and this is more towards the south and in the eastern part. So maybe you can say that this is in the south and this is in the north, right? Okay, then you come to the detailed para. Now here in these two paragraphs, this is what you're going to be making comparisons and contrast. Now let's take a look at the other things that are there. This is housing estate. This is the golf course and park. This is the city center. This blue line is the river and this bold line is the road and this line is the railway track. There are different ways of comparison also. One is You can compare with respect to two things in one para and two things in the other para, or you can talk about S1 in one para and S2 in the second para, right? So let's do it the latter way. When the shopping mall is built in this S1 location, it is near this. It is near to the housing estate and city center, right? It is also well connected with road transport and railways and a water body as well. So this is what you can say. But it is quite far from the industrial estate. Now let's look at S2. S2 is again well connected with roadways and railways, but the water body is quite far, and it is also very far from the housing estate. But you will not say that let's build the shopping complex in S1. You are not going to provide your own opinion about it. You are simply going to analyze what is there in the question. No assumptions. It has to be an objective summarization of what you see. Now let's take a look at the answer, the probable answer that can be. The map illustrates plans for two possible sites for a shopping mall in the city of Bradfield. It can be seen that the two sites under consideration are in the north and the southeast of the town. The first possible site for the shopping mall S1 is just the north of the city center, above the railway line, which runs from the southeast. So you can talk about the railway line also, which runs from the southeast to the northwest. Okay, so southeast to the northwest. If it is built here, it will be next to a large housing estate, thus providing easy access to those living on the estate and in the city center. It will also be next to the river, which runs through the town. The site in the southeast, S2, is again just by the railway line and fairly close to the city center, but it is near to an industrial estate rather than the housing, as we just took a look at, near industrial estate but far from the housing estate. So as you see, we are using just the prepositions of place and direction, right? But in all our discussion, we didn't touch upon the golf course. We have to include whatever is given in the map, and if we don't include even one detail, we will be penalized. That means we didn't look at the question properly, right? So we have to include the golf course. We can say a large golf course and park in the west of the town prevents this area from being available at the site. But remember, there is no conclusion in writing task 1. Right, so you will simply paraphrase, provide an overview, and give two detailed paragraphs, both of which should have different information. They should be different from each other. Okay, now you can see there is another question based on the comparison of maps, which shows an island before and after the construction of some tourist facilities. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the information. Make comparisons wherever relevant. Now, this is a very simple question. Why? Because if you see the first one, before the tourist facilities started, so this place had no habitation. So it was just an isolated place with trees and forest cover. After the tourist facilities were introduced in that area, a lot of people started living in there. Then some commercial facilities like restaurant, reception area, and a pier was also set up. There were for tourist attractions, so boat sailing was done, and accommodation facilities were also introduced in the island, and some infrastructural facilities were also brought up, like a footpath was made, a vehicle track was also made for smooth transport transition from the to and fro the island. Another thing that is to be noted is the ecological balance of the area was unchanged. So the forest cover, the trees that were there in this part are here, and in this part they are again here. So without changing the ecological balance, the tourist facilities were introduced in the area, right? So this is something worth noticing. Second thing that you can notice is this part. So there was not much of development in the eastern part of the island, or maybe the eastern and the western part of the island, the extreme eastern and western part of the island, right? So this is how you take a look. So maybe in the first paragraph you talk about this part, and in the second detailed paragraph you talk about this. So I hope this lesson was helpful to you. Do come up with your questions in the comments. Let me know if you have any queries and questions. I will be able to answer them. I'll come up with the next lesson very soon. Till then, take care and God bless. Bye bye.